Congress compromises on the Farm Bill, and Nebraska Farm Bureau President Steve Nelson was in D.C. as history was made. We caught up with him over the phone earlier this week.
To talk more about the Farm Bill is Nebraska Farm Bureau President Steve Nelson, who's actually in Washington, D.C. right now.
Steve, thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, very happy to be on. It's been an exciting last couple days here in Washington, D.C.
Yes, it has. As Congress passed the bipartisan Farm Bill, what was your initial reaction to it, Steve?
Well, we're just very, very pleased that Congress has finally passed the Farm Bill, and even though it was a little later than we had hoped for, it's before the first of the year. That's very good to get that out of the way. This Farm Bill will bring certainty for farmers and ranchers who are in some pretty difficult times today in many cases, and so this helps provide crop insurance, as you said earlier, and really a consistent farm program with some minor changes to what we've had before, but along the same lines as what we've had before. So this is certainly good for farmers in Nebraska, and it's really good for lenders as well because it brings certainty for them, and again, particularly with the crop insurance. So just very pleased that we've gotten it to this stage.
In addition to the crop insurance part, what else do you like about it, and also what don't you like about it?
Well, I think by and large, the changes are good changes. There's additional flexibility with the ARC and PLC program, some changes there that needed to be done to make it more friendly. There's also going to be the ability to select each year which program you want to be in after the first 2 years. So certainly that's a good thing. It's provided some flexibility as far as who's eligible for farm program payments, so it extends payment limitations out to not just first connection family members, but also to cousins and nieces and nephews. So those are good things that we've worked for. So by and large, the changes to the Farm Bill are positive, and we're certainly looking forward to the President signing the bill very, very soon.
Steve Nelson joining us. Now, the current version, Steve, rolls back restrictions on the SNAP benefits that the House passed. Did that impact your support for the bill at all?
Well, that's not an area that we get into specifically, but we know that the nutrition programs are important to many, many people in the country, and they really need to happen as a package as we discuss the Farm Bill. And so our concern, of course, was related to if those discussions around the nutrition programs would hold up the Farm Bill any more than what it already has. And fortunately, they've been able to come to an agreement there that was acceptable to both sides. And so we were able to get strong support, as you talked about, with both the House and the Senate.
The iconic Golden Arches serve up a lot of burgers. Now McDonald's announces it's going antibiotic-free. Sydney Edwards has our story.
As a large-scale company, they want to address the challenge. However, officials with the Nebraska Beef Council say there is no notable science out there that says meat without antibiotics is healthier.
As a producer and as a mom, I feel great about feeding it to my family and my friends.
Anne-Marie Bosshammer says no meat goes into the food supply with antibiotic levels above FDA-recommended levels.
Antibiotics are something that producers are able to use if their cattle get sick, which is, it's inhumane if we don't treat a sick animal. So they work with their veterinarians to make sure to diagnose the sickness, give it the right antibiotics, and treat it properly so that it can enter the food chain safely.
McDonald says there is limited antibiotic usage data across the global beef industry. Their policy includes a phased approach. Phase 1 includes partnering with supplying producers to measure and understand current usage. Then they will set medically important antibiotic reduction targets for their top 10 beef sourcing markets. That includes countries like the U.S., Canada, and Germany. Then in the year 2022, they'll report their progress. McDonald says they prefer their raw materials be supplied through progressive farming techniques, like animal husbandry and preventative medicine strategies. But even so, Bosshammer tells me cattle treated with antibiotics go through a withdrawal period before entering the food chain. and that producers don't necessarily like using antibiotics because they're expensive.
It's important for us to make sure that our cattle are healthy in the first place, but then sometimes we may need to treat them. So it does have a cost to the producer, and that's why we try to do everything we can prior to make sure that we don't have to utilize an antibiotic.
Students looking to pursue a career in agriculture now have another undergrad option in the Cornhusker State. Concordia University, Nebraska will now be offering a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural science starting this fall. The Seward-based university says the program will help fill the growing need among agricultural employers who are looking for graduates with a well-rounded education. You've got to see this later, a bacon vending machine, and we meet our farm youth of the month. Weather's up next, and a look at how snow has hampered harvest.